Hallo, hallo, hallo.
Ja, litt høyere.
Ja, Tobias her, ditt og datt, sjokolade.
Jeg synes det er greit, det.
Ja, det er greit.
Vil du klappe, eller skal jeg klappe?
Jeg vil klappe. Klar?
Jeg er klar, jeg.
Du har litt finere mikker, mann.
Jeg vet det. Det var bra klapp, det er en grei klapp.
Tommy er litt dårlig på det. Sorry, Tommy.
Tommy er jævlig dårlig på klapp.
Sånn klapp, man.
Faens helvete. Alright, welcome guys to another episode of what I thought was going to be a series 2 years ago, but it never actually happened. So PWG's Chat and Chill, I am back with the person who was in the first episode, Tobias Becs. So, in the first episode we were with Tobias and Gaetan talking about training spots.
Right now I think I don't want to go all the way to the hall when you have nice weather like this, even though it's a little bit cold. I like to, and I know that maybe I'm not going to be able to do my best combos because it's cold. I still want to have that outdoor session just to do something new and to get more motivation.
Yeah, and it wasn't supposed to be a release video, but it was just an uncut video of us talking about the struggles of having an outdoor spot, an indoor spot, or whatever. But today we are just one-on-one, mano y mano, and we're going to talk a little bit about stuff. Okay, so hopefully you will find this stuff interesting because we're going to talk about a little bit about how to manage freestyle whilst earning money on freestyle, because this guy has been doing quite a good job on that, and hopefully this segment will soon become a podcast of some sort, just in case you like it, okay? So, Tobias, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for having me. We're actually at the For Freestyle new office. As you can see, we're kitted out from the toes up, almost.
Hopefully it's not too much echo in here,
no,
but we'll
it's gonna
see
work
that later.
It's gonna work. So, I'm not gonna ask you questions. We're gonna have healthy discussions about this. Okay, so as you know, both me and Tobias, we are, in the over 100K club on Instagram. We have been doing a few paid posts, etc., etc. But I think it's good for you to say, like, how did you manage to get that many followers with, and doing that great content? And then I can say, how I did.
Yeah, no, I think if you want to build your channels and if you want to, become, not that you want to become famous, but you want to get recognition or a lot of eyes on you. If you want to earn money from what you do, you need people to watch what you do,
Yeah.
Even though it's super high quality, it's hard to be able to present it for bigger companies or people to sponsor you if you don't have an audience.
No.
So the audience is really important, but I also think it's important to think about what kind of audience do you want,
Do you want kids? Do you want adults? Do you want sponsors to look at you? Do you want kids so that sponsor can look at you so that you can target the young kids?
Yeah.
There's so many ways to do it, and I don't know. You have done it a certain way. I've done it slightly different, and there are people who's doing way different than we are.
And I think everybody should do it different because you should do it. You should be yourself, and I think too many people are too, they're focusing too much on getting an audience, and they're kind of like, okay, let me see what people want me to do to become famous.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about what do I want to do with my life, maybe people want to follow me, and maybe people are similar to me and like to see what I do, and then it comes to quality again. Quality doesn't always mean to have the best camera. Or it's not all about how you edit your stuff, but quality can mean many different things. It can mean information you give,
the entertainment value that you give as well.
Yeah, so
could be a lot of stuff.
It depends on what you're doing and what you want to do. But I think the most important thing is to figure out what you want to do, and of course you should listen to your audience, but you shouldn't be too shaped by your audience, because too many people are just open-minded and like, okay, what do you guys want me to do? And then they end up being a clown or doing stuff they don't really want to do, instead of focusing on what you prefer, what you want to accomplish in life. And then people will follow that journey, and then you love what you do and you can get paid for it.
And that's kind of how you did it, because everyone has seen, if you're not following Tobias already, so Tobias Freestyle, link in the description.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But the content that he creates is very cinematic. You have the classic orange and teal editing. There's very dramatic EDM music. kind of reminds me of Jon Olsen and that kind of vibe that you want to give. And that's your vibe that you found, like, okay, with freestyle, this is, you know, how I want to convey my message. For me, I found a completely different strategy on my social media.
And one thing I think is really fun, if you watch the vlogs from Finland, we were judging together, you can really see the difference, and also how we work really well together. And of course, I might have taken it a little to the extreme, and also, you know, we try to show how different it can be.
Yeah.
But if you watch my vlog and then watch Philip's vlog later, because then he's highlighting it, then you can see the difference of what kind of content we create. But
I should leave a link to both those videos in the description as well, because you will first watch Tobias's masterpiece as in the cinematic piece, and then you will look at my video where we're just 1.5 minutes talking about why Tobias can't fly off his drone in the middle of Helsinki. But
it's much more fun vlog to watch, and mine is more like, wow, that's impressive.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I think both of these types of content is important to have, and especially if you want to create your own style or have your own style, it's important to do what you like. And obviously, sometimes I like making cinematic vlogs or videos, but it's not my, you know, it's not my favorite type of content to create. I would like to have a bit of humor or a little bit of backstory around everything that we do, so that, you know, I kind of tie all the strings together into one video. And
I think, for example, you, Philip, you're good at storytelling, and also you are an entertaining guy. I'm not saying that I'm not, but you're a funny guy, and you have a cool way of looking at life and situations that you really get into your vlogs and content. And that's why you should focus more on that. And then it wouldn't work that well if you go around, you know, with a stabilizer, having to shoot that scene 2 times or 3 times. It's more in the moment, and it's more about you as a person, and, you know, it's a different thing. You know?
And I also think that it's good that, you know, we have been on so many trips where both of us have made a video each, where you can see the cinematic side of the story, and you can see my kind of behind the scenes, a little bit, you know, all over the place type of thing. But we also got, like, our Instagram is very, very different. We still have, you know, we still want to promote freestyle as it is and our way of looking at freestyle, but we have so much different ways of looking at it. We had a discussion yesterday, and you said that you found your newfound love of creating a clip of you doing a crazy combination with J-stall and lowers, but still also have the great camera work with a stabilizer going around you or going down a set of stairs, or using like objects around you. And I think that's fascinating, because I've never thought that way. I've, you know, done the occasional trick shot, which I'm not doing much anymore.
But that's the thing again, you know, I also hear a lot, you know, people that recognize you, or when they see me freestyle, it's like, oh, do you know who Philip is? And then you're famous for doing the creative stuff, new tricks. And, you know, for me, I might not be that entertaining if I just stand still, because I do hard tricks, but it might not look that cool, and they're not that special, because you create a lot of new stuff. So you are, you know, recognized because you do so many new cool stuff that, you know, it's mind-blowing in their own way. So you might not need a camera work. So that's why, you know, I need a camera work.
So you're saying that you're compensating because of your boring freestyle. You're compensating with camera work.
I need to move, and I need the camera to move.
I don't even need to color grade my clips. No, but I mean, I understand, and I think that it works both ways. Obviously, my content would have a major facelift if I use like great camera work and a gimbal. But then again, you have people. We're here in Oslo, by the way, and there's a lot of freestylers in Oslo. We got Adrian, we got Tommy, Peter, Joachim, Jonathan, LMK. There's a lot of freestylers here that can help you out with camera work, and people who are equally as excited and ambitious when it comes to social media as you are. But when it comes to where I live, there's not many people who's able to, you know, go out with me and film for 4 hours. So my kind of setup is so much different. So I'd rather, like, okay, what can I do to create a new move in my boring gym where it says, whatever your 100% is, give it. You know, it's in every Instagram clip that I have uploaded, that quote is in the background, because I always film from the same location, the same boring stuff. But, you know, that's also kind of the content that my audience has accustomed to. So like, that's kind of what they expect from me now. They expect like once a week or once every 2 weeks a crazy new clip with a new combination or a brand new trick in super slow motion with some Trap Nation music, and kind of that's what they have grown accustomed to, and that's what they like. So whenever they see something where I'm filming with a gimbal, it doesn't go as well.
Of course, but I also think, I think that's a good point. And first of all, me creating a lot of content with other freestylers, now Tommy and Peter working here for Freestyle does make that easier. And that's also, something I've slowly but steadily set up, because that's, my vision. And, if you follow your vision and your goals, you will accomplish it one by one, but it takes time. And that makes it easier to do what I want, and creating stuff with the gimbal and high quality cameras. But also that's why it's so important to also create an audience that want to follow you as a person, because too many are creating Instagram pages or Facebook where they only put up tricks, and that's cool. But then you also have 433 and other big pages, freestyle pages that I'm a football freestyler, that repost the best stuff, so you can go in there and follow them.
Yeah.
But if you really want to gain a real relationship with your audience and for them to actually follow your journey, so if you decide that, okay, I'm bored by doing all these tricks, now I want to change into something different, as long as you talk to them and you kind of guide them into, this is what I want to do, let's try this out, I think it's going to be all fine, because they follow you as a person, not you as an entertaining news website.
Yeah, and also I think it's important that if you turn into just a freestyle page with just tricks and tricks and tricks, it might be, as you said, that some audience might go and follow I'm a Football Freestyler or the WFFA or like any freestyle repost page, because then they will get the best out of the best. And I think that I looked back at my Instagram feed, and a few years ago I uploaded only like freestyle clips, and I never uploaded any photos. And I realized that, okay, so if I upload a photo, it's less work, first of all. You can talk to your audience in a different way, because they only have the focus on the caption and the photo.
It can be less work, but not always.
Not always. Mm-hmm. He knows. And third of all, I think that you can get a much more closer relationship to your audience by uploading a photo with a question or something that relates to whatever you're doing. And I started doing that, and I realized that if my like ratio is up here for videos, for the photos it was down here. And I started losing a lot of followers every time I uploaded a photo, which I think is weird. Please don't do that. Please don't follow me just because I upload a photo, because I try my best, guys, okay?
But one thing, okay, that's a good point again. I'm not gonna start to stop you.
It's a discussion.
Yeah, the thing is, like you said, you will maybe lose some followers, but that can also be a good thing, because if that is you and what you want to do, then you will lose the followers that only are there for the content and for the freestyle, not for you as a person. And those people you actually don't want. Of course, they're a number, but if you really want, a real relationship with your audience, then they will adapt to you and what you want to put out. Of course, if it's totally different, I understand that many people might stop, but then again, then it's more important with the connection with your audience.
I'm also thinking that it doesn't matter how many followers you have, it matters how much people actually care about the content that you create, and how many people are there to follow your journey. And that's why when I started losing followers because I uploaded photos, as you said, that the people that are there for my journey, they're still there. And of course sometimes you gain followers because you get reposted by a page, and then you lose followers because you start uploading photos, and so on and so forth. But I think that in the long run, you want to establish a steady platform of people that is supporting you for the content that you create overall, not just videos, not just photos, or not just trick shots, but all in all the content that you create. So you kind of have to create your own personality and display that and reflect that onto your Instagram, your YouTube, your Twitter, Facebook, whatever.
And that personality should be as close to you as a person in real.
Yeah.
And
it should be you.
It should be you. And also because that will make it so much easier. Of course, when you are on your Instagram or Facebook, you might be more energetic or stuff like that. But as long as you're you, and even your friends in real life, you don't want them to, if you suddenly go a different way, if you stop freestyling, and you start with basketball, do you want them then to tell you that, oh, that's not cool, I'm not going to be friends with you? You know, that doesn't happen, and that's the same relationship you want with those followers. Of course, it's going to be hard, especially when you have, you know, a lot of followers. But to get, you know, as long as you
Wait.
Yeah. Sponsored by.
Okay, so you were stuttering, and I was drinking battery. So, not battery acid, by the way.
Yeah. So what I was saying was just, you know, create that real relationship with your audience in the best way possible through social media, because you're not going to be able to meet all of them in person. But, you know, be you as your, you know, just be yourself. It's simple and it sounds weird, but it's just be yourself, and don't let the audience decide too much of what they want you to do, because then you just become a clown and they can just play where they want.
Yeah, and there are people out there, like, now I'm not saying it's freestylers or football YouTubers, but I'm saying like many YouTubers in general, they just follow whatever their audience want to see and like follow the latest trends or whatever. And I mean, I respect that. I respect for people who does that. But in my opinion, if you want to make the wholesome, genuine content that you yourself want to create, you need to first figure out what you want to make and what type of content you want to create. And then the followers and the audience will come after that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah,
I mean,
especially when you want to, like, I look at myself as an ambassador for the sport freestyle football, you know, the same with Philip, and basically every freestyler is an ambassador for the sport. And then I also think that you should, you know, take that responsibility seriously, and you should also promote the sport as it is. So I'm not talking just about freestyle football, but this is also in general. Okay,
he's talking only about freestyle.
But, you know, it's just like, I'm not saying, and I don't have anything against people that, you know, go different ways and what we sometimes call sellout, that you know, go really into the football world, because, you know, it's a good connection and it's a good way to introduce new audience to the sport. But you should still keep, you know, the real freestyle alive and show how the real freestyle is, and promote that in the best possible way, because we are the ones who are shaping the sport. And if too many are going all in on crossbars and football stuff, it's gonna destroy
it's going to be oversaturated.
Yeah, it's gonna destroy how people look at freestyle, and also they're gonna think that the F2 are the best freestylers in the world.
And they're not.
Yeah. Even though they're really good at what they do, and I respect them for that.
Yeah, their content is great.
I have nothing against them, and I think they're doing a really good job. It's just that we don't want people to think that they are the best freestylers in the world, because they're not freestylers. They are more like football techers stuff. You know, they have their own category of things.
And I also think that at the end of the day, like, freestylers want to live off freestyle. People want to earn money out of freestyle, and I mean, if their easiest way to do that is, for example, to have football shoes on and do a crossbar challenge with doing like tricks in the beginning.
And I've done that myself.
I've done that myself. I work for Unisport, which is basically a channel for football only, and I've just, you know, for the past 2-3 years, I've made tutorials. So,
and on that point, I just want to say that, you know, by working with football and that big, what do you say, big
audience?
Yeah, audience, big. Or yeah, that big sport.
Yeah.
That was weird. Okay, so what I'm trying to say,
redo.
Yeah. You know, so by working with football-related stuff, a lot of people look at that as a negative thing. But again, you know, it's more related to freestyle, so it's a good way of introducing footballers to freestyle, and it's better to do that than working with skateboard. Even though many of you freestylers would think that, oh, if you work with football, then you're a sellout. But if you work with skateboard, then it's a total different sport. So then it's cool. And it's not. It's actually better to work with football.
Because you will have an audience that might be interested in freestyle.
Even though, you know, some skateboarders would also, it's kind of similar as well in the way you do tricks.
Is that a peek against me because I made a video with a skateboarder?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
No, I understand, but I think.
No, I think that's a cool thing. I'm just trying to say that it's not only about, you know, sometimes you can do stuff that is not freestyle. It's not that you have to do freestyle all the time, but your main thing and your channel, if freestyle is what you want to promote, then it should be real freestyle. But if you're collaborating, working with others, of course you can try different things, and it's a good way of introducing them. It's just that when they take that next step of going into your accounts or your channels, then they should see what freestyle really is about.
Yeah. And I hope that when people go into this channel, I mean, we've been talking for 25 minutes about Instagram and freestyle, and I really hope that people watching this knows that this channel is a real freestyle channel, even though sometimes you see me doing vlogs with, you know, when I'm out traveling, but it's still related to freestyle, and I want it to be that way. I don't want to do a spicy ramen noodle challenge, even though that I have had spicy ramen noodle on my channel. But I mean, you know, the same way, I don't want to be a regular YouTuber. I don't want to be a regular Instagrammer. I want to have freestyle content because, as you said, you kind of want to be one of the ambassadors of the sport, so that when we show other people what we do, we show it the right way.
Ta min lille gang.
Då får jag klappa den här gången då.
Ja.
Technical difficulties. You just can't record over 23 minutes. And I can't see when it's turned off. And that's what happens when you're talking with Tobias on such an amazing topic that is freestyle.
True.
So do let me know in the comment section down below what you want to see and what you guys want me to talk about in the future episode of PWG's Chat and Chill. If you want to see this segment become a podcast or not, there will be more vlogs coming up. I will have a few trips planned ahead, but leave a like, subscribe, whatever. Do you have anything to say, Tobias? I'm just so tired of this shit.
I don't have a mic on, but here. Yeah, just what Philip said, and leave a comment, like, and let us know what you think of some of the shoes here.
That's it. I don't want to make a bye-bye shit, so we're gonna turn it off right now.